Hello and welcome. This is Nolan Formulary with Discover NC Homes, Nolan's News, and today I have Kara Herring with me from Don Bullard Insurance. Kara, thank you so much for,
Sure.
for having or coming. They're located in Southport and Whilmington. I recommend them to all my clients. Also, they take care of all my personal insurance, so we really believe in them. Great rates, great customer service. But Kara's here today to explain the various flood zones in our coastal region and more importantly, what they mean when you are insuring your home. So, Kara, can you kind of just run us
Sure.
through
Sure.
the general flood zones in our area?
So obviously the one that everybody likes to see is your preferred zone. Mostly that's going to be, you're going to see X as a
That's how it's
preferred
marked?
zone.
Okay.
Yeah. So what that means, and a lot of people think, okay, I'm not in a flood zone. Everybody's in a flood zone.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Because every property has the potential to flood. Even if you're in that preferred zone, you can still buy flood insurance.
Okay.
A lot of people don't think that you can. So you can still buy the flood insurance. And I do recommend it.
Okay.
And as a real estate agent, I would say
I-
you should recommend it as
Yes.
well. The percentage is really high of preferred zone homes that still do have some flooding.
Well, it's fairly inexpensive, and again, I mean, during Hurricane Florence, we had so many
Yes.
areas that we never thought would flood in flood zone X that
Right.
flooded. So
Right.
I agree with you.
So you get the
wholeheartedly
ground
there.
saturation of
Yes.
the rainwater, which we had with Florence. And then you get the rising water. So differences in that preferred zone, again, you can buy it.
Okay.
You need to be cognizant of a 30-day waiting period. So we get calls all the time when there's a storm out there looming, and everybody wants to buy flood insurance. That's great, but you're not going to have it for this storm.
Sure.
So there is going to be a 30-day wait, and your lender's not going to require it. But again, you can still purchase it, and a lot of people do. And from that, we go into an AE zone.
Okay, so X is the best, or
yeah.
the best you can be in. The next is AE. Okay.
AE. So that is going to be a special flood hazard area.
Okay.
So if you have a mortgage, a lender is going to require that you have the flood coverage. But those rates can be very good, especially if it's a newer construction, if it's built to the current codes.
Okay.
You've got the proper venting. So you could see rates that are very comparable to the preferred zone.
Okay. Very
But
good.
you will have to carry that policy with a mortgage on the property. So now you can see some AE zones that are a high rate.
Okay.
And that would be, where it's lower to the ground. Maybe it was built, before things changed. Maybe it's not properly vented, in which case you could go in and put in
proper venting.
vents, make sure that it's vented properly. But again, typically you're going to see in an AE zone, those rates are going to be far better than the biggie, the VE zone.
Okay, and what is VE?
I say it's very expensive.
Okay, I like that.
No, it's just basically a high velocity risk area.
Okay.
So typically you're going to see your oceanfront homes, maybe even canal homes, on the waterway.
Anything on the water.
And, on an island. Though there are properties that even on Bald Head that are in a preferred zone. It's just a, higher ground.
Higher elevation.
But, you can tell if it's low lying.
Okay.
And if you see it's, as a buyer of real estate, if you see that VE zone, it's going to be far more expensive typically than any of the others.
Than an extra name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there any other type of zone beyond that, or those are three? We have the X, the AE, and the VE.
Basically those are going to be the three that you mostly see.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I think takeaways, no matter what zone you're in, you are in a flood zone. You may not be required flood insurance, but why not get it? Because, I mean, it's pretty inexpensive compared to what could happen.
And if you do have a flood, typically it's going to be something that's pretty catastrophic.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a $2,000 flood claim. Typically, it's going to be if you've got water, even if you've got 2 inches of water, you're talking about quite a bit of damage there.
I agree.
Yeah.
So stay insured. Again, Don Bullard, Kara, thank you. Appreciate it. and we'll talk to you soon.